I paid off my credit card, so you know what that means. Let's go spend money! I'm gonna buy whatever the f I want because I have unlimited funds again with no consequence.
Okay, the year has officially ended, so it's time for my 2025 Chick-fil-A Wrapped. Last year, I went 349 times.
I just saw a video of a girl talking about her Chase Wrapped, so I decided to check mine. I'm not leaving the house again.
Alright, so I'm recording this video real quick and trying to upload it before I inevitably lose power for a while because of the storm, so my schedule might be a little off this week compared to usual. Hopefully everyone's okay where you live, but we're still trying to be financially responsible on this channel. So today we're going to talk about overspending. We got a ton of examples along with comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with some of the 2025 spending wrap trend.
You guys have been begging for this video, and Jen really doesn't want to do it.
No, it's not my favorite time of year with this.
It's my 2025 Amex Wrapped video. As a 26-year-old financially irresponsible person.
Don't say that.
This year, I went on 24 vacations.
Oh my God.
I upgraded to first class 16 times.
You did not.
Bought
16 times.
Bought 9 luxury items I didn't need, including a Gucci Speedo in Capri. Hosted my sister on another Euro summer.
That
and
was kind of nice, actually.
we opened up a new credit card this year.
Why?
Top categories this year were travel and merchandise and supplies. Oh, and I also got new brakes and tires on my car.
That is necessary. There's one necessary expense in the whole bunch.
The
right
grand
there.
total on my American
even wanna
Express
see
Platinum
this
and
one.
Gold cards was $164,100.
I don't think he makes that much. So how is that happening? Like, how are you gonna pay that?
My new credit card.
Don't even put that one. You know what? I gotta go. I absolutely gotta go. That is insanity.
Okay, so a couple things here. I do think he actually makes this kind of money because this is a very popular TikTok account. However, this makes other people want to make these videos as well. And of course, the bigger number you have, the crazier stories, the amount of money spent, the more views and engagement and followers you're going to get. So everything's just anteed up a little bit more each time. And if you're trying to replicate that, I mean $164,000 spent in 1 year, you're most likely going to be in some pretty heavy debt. But let's switch over to yet another crazy example, my 2025 Chick-fil-A Wrapped.
Okay, the year has officially ended, so it's time for my 2025 Chick-fil-A Wrapped. Last year, I went 349 times. Do we think I went more or less this year? Did the hate comments get to me and make me change my ways? Let's find out. How many times did I go to Chick-fil-A in 2025? December 26th. November 18. I attempted no spend November. Clearly, I did not make it through the whole month, but I tried. October, 24. September, 39. August, 34. July, 31. June, 35. May, 23. April, 28. March, 35. February, 37. January, 32. With a grand total of 362 times. I almost made it. 365 days.
Chick-fil-A isn't even open every single day. They're closed on Sundays. And you went almost 365 days in a year. Most of the time when I drive by too, it's pretty busy. So you'd have to wait at least a little while going almost multiple times a day. But this is just the first half of the clip. We could see how much money was spent in one single year.
Now, how much money did I spend at Chick-fil-A in 2025? This is supposed to say 2025. I'm not editing and restarting the video. I just noticed that. So, just use your imagination. December, $290.45. November, $245.67. October, $229.85. September, $406.14. August, $490.32. July, $396.04. June, $557.70. I think this one is so high. Well, yes, I think I went like 35 times that month, but also because it was hot, I think I got a lot of milkshakes too, so it made my dollar transactions a little bit higher. May, $362.60. April, $394.09. March, $460.87. February, $530.57. January, $346.78, with a grand total of $4,711.08.
So in my opinion, this is a perfect example of watching little incremental payments just stack up and get way more expensive than you think. Because even with how ridiculous her going almost multiple times a day in certain months, she's getting charged $10, maybe $15 each time. And some might think, that's not really that bad. However, when you do it over and over again, and of course in this extreme case, in one single year, you could spend almost $5,000. 37 times in February that has 28 days. Chick-fil-A was only open 313 days in 2025. There you go. Even if their food is your absolute favorite thing to eat, there's no way you wouldn't get tired of it going that many times. I just don't understand. We have a comment from you guys right here. I can't imagine complaining about the high cost of living and then posting how much they spend on random BS. And I mean, it's not like they're wrong. The climate is not great right now, but then right after that, when I see yet another shopping haul or a Chick-fil-A Wrapped, you kind of have to step back and think how these people actually operate.
What is this car?
It's a 2017 Ford Mustang. That was a $25,000 car.
What's the minimum monthly payment, my dude?
$556.
What's the interest rate on this?
24.1%.
No.
Yes.
Dude, the interest rate is higher than your literal age. What's your insurance?
Car insurance payment is $770 a month.
Who sold this to you? I need to go beat the shit out of this person.
It was CarMax. I thought I could trust them.
Oh, yeah, it was. Do you know how absolutely life-ruining that is to your finances?
I would be willing to sell my car for a more expensive, newer car.
What are you talking about?
So other people that have had the same income and position at my age,
Don't you
they've been approved for $50,000, $60,000 cars. I like luxury, that a Lexus RCF. It's like a Japanese Mustang. Is what they call it.
So this guy got fleeced by CarMax because he absolutely needed to drive around in a Mustang at a young age, let alone the $550 car payment with the 25% interest rate, $770 a month for insurance. But I'm willing to sell this car as long as I get a more expensive, newer car. You really can't make these types of stories up, man. The dealership, after he left with 24% interest, that $25,000 car is going to cost him $43,000 or $47,000, depending on if he goes with a 5 or 6 year loan. All that for a 2017 Mustang. I mean, I like the way they look, but not for 25% APR and almost 50 grand. I would be willing to sell my car. Oh, good. He's not too hard-headed for a newer, more expensive one. That was basically the rest of the comment section. I need to control my debt. I'll sell my car and get a more expensive one instead. I hope that these clips are some sort of scared straight for people, because in cases like this, it almost seems like they can't be helped. Now we could go over to some clips of employees working at retail stores and finding out how much they actually spend where they work.
Hi, I'm Paula. I'm the sales manager, and I think my year-to-date spending is like $2,800.
Look.
Should I look? Oh my god, stop.
I'm Nidalyn. I'm the merchandise manager, and I think I've spent $1,800 here. Wait.
Okay, look.
I'm Aubrey, and I'm a beauty advisor and a tasker, and I think my year-to-date spending amount is $2,500.
Hi, my name is T. I'm Prestige Beauty, and I feel like my year-to-date spending is $2,000.
How much do you guys get paid? Not nearly enough to be acting like this. Textbook overspending, probably justifying it with the employee discount. How do you spend almost $10,000 basically? I need to see the hauls. The creator responds, I have a severe fragrance addiction, if that gives you an idea. Wait, this is in a year, unfortunately. Some of you spent multiple rent payments. Mine was actually 6 months of rent for me, and I think that's the worst part. You don't say. Do you guys get a discount? We do. There you go. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. A clip up on screen. POV, you get a part-time job at Lululemon. And the total goes from over $1,000 down to $300. Still, pretty substantial amount of money. But we go over to the comment section. Lululemon is actually so generous with their discounts. They have 70% off for employees. That's good. $1,000 for 7 items alone is crazy work. But thank God for your discount. I don't know. When I see examples like this, I immediately start thinking how cheap it is to actually make these items. Because even with it being the employee discount, it's not like they're selling it at a loss. All of their clothing is probably made for pennies. So of course it being over $1,000 for just a few items is insane, but even the $300 is wildly overpriced.
Oh my god. Someone tell me, is this number bad or is this normal?
For reference, I'm 28 years old, I live in the Bay Area, I have no kids, and I rent. But this is your sign to not look at your 2025 Chase Wrapped if you choose peace. Or maybe some of you, myself included, do need to check this number so we can all do better in 2026.
I just saw a video of a girl talking about her Chase Wrapped, so I decided to check mine. I'm not leaving the house again.
So even though almost all of us are on our phones 24/7, there's a good amount of the population that don't look at their spending on the apps at all. They just figured out they could see how much they spent over the year and they're shocked. I mean, $70,000 and almost $85,000? Are you kidding me? How is that even possible? A $100,000 salary after tax is $70,000? Basically all of that going to the credit card then. Another person just says with $95,000. Thankful Capital One doesn't give me this info, because why would you ever want to know about your own personal finances? Mine says $134,000. How? I don't even make that much. I use Rocket Money to look at everything. I made $49,000 this year and spent $55,000. How? I don't want to see it. That's between God and Chase. How do you not notice $84,000? Mine was $87,000. I'm sick to my stomach. There's over 1,000 comments like this. And then of course we have the people that don't take this seriously. Here's one up on screen. Aren't you embarrassed about your credit card debt? And then it goes to the trend of we're just a little speck in space. You know, nothing matters. It's fine. Just spend as much money as you possibly can, which in this case is how she's gotten attention online. Brooke the Shopaholic. We've gone over this account before. Almost 3 million followers now. The entirety of the content is massive overconsumption. She has a shopping addiction. Here's all these hauls left and right, buying way too much stuff and saying that everything needs to change. I'm going to declutter. Throw out all of this stuff. I don't need it anymore. And then within a few weeks, it just goes right back to the overconsumption, bringing in more and more viewers each time. But at least in your case, if you're following the same plan, you're just gonna go completely broke. We got another comment from you guys right here. My neighbors have delivery trucks and Uber Eats at their house daily and wonder how we could afford to go to Europe every couple of years. It's because we're frugal and I shop at the thrift store and cook all meals at home. They're nearing 50 and the husband is switching jobs, going to a school to be an electrician because they don't make enough money. Kind of sounds like they'll be working until they're in the grave, unfortunately, all because you can't stop shopping online and getting takeout 24/7.
It's the debt you've gotten yourself in. Your sweet treat every single day. And how do we know it's because of that stuff? Because you spend twice as much as you make on a monthly basis. And it's like, what, 40% sweet treats?
I have the money for my rent and utilities and everything, and I don't want to touch that. And then I have a little bit of money in my debit card. I'm like, oh, I don't want to touch that. So silly me going to thinking, oh, well, I just made a payment, but at least I can.
Oops, I spent $750 at Chili's.
Yeah.
How can one spend $750 at Chili's? Here we got another one with the employee discount. If you get a second job at Chili's, you could eat 50% off on your shift. That's still 50% more than not buying it. I love having sweet treats every day. That's why I buy stuff to make them at the grocery store. Well, that's a pretty good transition to the next clip.
I just got $550 worth of groceries because we're not eating out in 2026. Except for today, because I already did groceries, so I can't do groceries and cook on the same day. Like, that doesn't, you can't do both.
I can't have a home-cooked meal if the groceries don't feel at home yet. For some reason, the Samsung Belgian account commented on this, and you need to unpack the groceries, so you deserve to eat out tomorrow, too. I find this even more annoying than just regular comments. Why is the official Samsung Belgian account trying to be relatable to people? To me, it's just a terrible form of marketing. The groceries need to marinate in the fridge first, duh. And then it starts snowballing into eating out way more than you should, and then a good portion of that $550 worth of groceries goes bad. But we got a quick one up next with the concerts. I mean, this one is just crazy to me.
Holy you got front row, baby! Bruno Mars, front row, let's go!
$4,000 for tickets. $4,500 is crazy though. It's only money. I'm gonna stick with my section 200 tickets. $4,000 is insane. Another one of the prime examples right here. You know we love to talk about it, the Disney stuff.
No. You're lying. For what?
That's the face of a guilty woman.
How did I buy that much?
Our bill at the end of 3 days was $1,500. I don't know how. And then we went straight to Disney World for 5 days. I spent $800 and we were only there 6 hours into day 1. But don't worry, it's okay to overspend as long as you're not buying crazy stuff. At least that's the logic for this next clip.
Reminder, if you've been spending a lot of money on yourself recently and you're feeling bad about it, just remember that there's far worse things you could be spending your money on, like drugs, but you're not. You're buying yourself things to make you happy.
Yeah, because I bet that thought process won't go off the rails real quickly.
Not to be dramatic here, but I had to work my first full 5-day work week since December 1st, and I woke up this morning and treated myself to a coffee. 1, because I never deny myself anything, and 2, I just came to the realization I do not think I can do this for the next 30 years.
Just training your brain to have instant gratification all the time. What could go wrong? And hey, maybe you do get that coffee 5 days out of the week for the next 30 years. That's going to add up to a pretty substantial amount of money. But it never feels like that when you're in the moment buying it. But of course, we got to go to all the clips that are supposed to be relatable and funny. There's really an unlimited amount of this stuff on TikTok.
So you're telling me it's not normal that I scroll on the Real for hours and eBay and Poshmark and Vestiaire Collective every single night? Like, that's not normal?
Y'all, the way that shopping makes me feel is what I think a crackhead feels like when they take a hit. I'm on a high right now. I'm addicted too.
Every second of every day, I just want to shop and I just want to spend money and I just want to buy new things.
Things that I refuse to pay for. Nothing. That's why I can't save any money.
My idea of fun is getting a coffee and walking around Whole Foods for an hour, buying things that I don't necessarily need.
I mean, this kind of stuff just does not stop. When it's payday, but you low-key owe $1,000 to Klarna. How much money did you save this year? Me while on a jet ski and the background audio is just saying nothing. Klarna popping up on a Sunday afternoon after impulse Christmas purchases you have absolutely no memory of. I just can't stop spending money and treating myself. I don't know what the problem is. Every time I see money in my account, I just want to spend it. There's never-ending things to buy. Why is shopping so fun? Money can buy me happiness. And here's one that's even more relatable, talking about the storm. Don't worry, TJ Maxx, I'm still coming, while they're driving in a snowstorm. Sometimes you just gotta read your mom's text and move on with your day. And the next slide is her mother saying Discover card is turned off, $619 in 2 weeks. $309 weekly doesn't seem that bad. Go mom for putting her foot down, I agree. This is actually kind of sad. My parents work so hard, I would be sick if I just nonchalantly spent that much money for someone else to pay for it. I spent $700 in 2 days. Me too. I go through that in like a week. I guess we do have problems. Oops. My future husband doesn't have to worry about me cheating. He has to worry about me running the bank account dry. Okay, I have even more examples of this, but we just gotta move on.
This is how I know I have a problem, because I just spent too much money on my hair, and I was like, you know that feeling when you're like, I just spent too much money on my hair, that was like too much, that was crazy, and you like kind of feel like a little bit bad. And I did that, you know, and my immediate like instinctual reaction was like, I have to buy something else, like, so that I got something out of it to like make myself feel better, because I didn't want to be sad about spending too much money. So I was like, okay, I need to like buy an outfit to make it feel worth it, which it doesn't make sense, I know, because I'm spending more money, like of course it doesn't make any sense, but that was like instinctual. It was like, okay, I gotta buy something, like that's just it. And I had this little outfit in mind that I hadn't been buying because it was too expensive, but what do? I bought it to make myself feel better, and now I've spent $100 more.
And we got another comment from you guys right here. This is what happens when people don't have a job, a hobby, or a passion that truly fulfills them and fills up their time. When they get bored, they start shopping. While I do agree with that, at least in the hobby realm, people definitely go overboard as well.
How much do you think you've spent since you started working here?
I'd say about like 5,000.
You want to look?
All right, let's see. Ooh, that's a little high. 30,000.
You want to look?
God!
I'm gonna say 10,000.
10,000?
Well.
What on earth are they spending that much money on? Hobbies. Keeping the place in the green themselves. I'm not trying to tell you that you shouldn't have any hobbies. You should just save every single penny for the rest of your life. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of people out there spending money when they don't have the bank account to back it up.
I love spending money because I know it will come back to me. Money means nothing. I set it free and wait for its return. This is my bedroom, and there's no place like it. My comfort zone, my safe space. This is my gamer girl boss lifestyle.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this was just bait for engagement online, because the audio was pretty ridiculous, but it does add into how crazy some people can get with hobbies. Affirm, I love spending money because I know it'll come back to me. If it was really that easy to get money to come back to you, there probably wouldn't be so many people living paycheck to paycheck in this high cost of living climate. Now we could go into even more examples, especially over this past holiday season. We have some clips up on screen of accounts giving their kids, I mean hundreds and hundreds of presents, just wildly overspending, spoiling them beyond belief, most likely for the attention online as well. So what kind of lessons are you teaching your kid with that one? But I think we're just going to end off this video with this clip.
Until very recently, I had almost 30 grand in credit card and overdraft debt. So let's revisit some of the worst purchases I made whilst I was in debt. Starting off with a 4-day holiday to Sydney, I actually convinced my friend to come with me because flights were only £600 return. Bear in mind, I was already in my overdraft and decided to go on holiday, and we were there for 4 whole days, which was the biggest waste of money. I don't know why I did that. I was going on a first date with this guy and I really fancied him, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to pay for this date. I was literally so deep in my overdraft. I'm pretty sure for this one I actually had to extend my overdraft, which is appalling. This one's not my proudest moment. A TfL travel charge of £3.80 that got declined because my overdraft was maxed out, so I had to then change the card and put it on my credit card. When I was about 18, I got into a bad habit of making new cards and then just cancelling them once the TfL travel charge had bounced because I couldn't afford to pay it back. A public toilet, my card got declined for £1 at a public toilet in Covent Garden actually. I bought Becky Hill concert tickets for £60. This was also just before I moved to Australia, and I was getting myself into worse debt before I moved halfway across the world, which really wasn't sensible. This one hit me like a kick in the teeth. A HelloFresh subscription that I forgot to cancel, £70 out of my credit card, which I was literally like, oh man, I don't know how to pay that back. I'm pretty sure I had to pay that back in 3 installments as well, which was pretty rough.
Okay, so I did want to say paying for public toilets is just not really a thing in the US, but I do know it's a lot more common around the world, and getting your card declined there is pretty rough. But at the very end, with our subscription world now, there's a lot of them that you might start using and completely forget about it until the next month or even the next year, and you get hit with $70 from HelloFresh that you don't even use anymore. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.